Christmas Day is not a day most people think about when thinking about staying in a hotel. With family fires roaring across the country in anticipation of the holidays, it seemed like a cold and somewhat impersonal place to stay. And Janet and I have been traveling back and forth between Southwest Virginia and East Tennessee for almost a decade now. And we almost always end up having to stay in a hotel. The other option was always to hurry from one place to the other and usually end up grouchy and a bit irritable by the time you got there, which wasn't very festive for those waiting for us. Then one year we just got this idea, this wonderful idea. It was just brilliant. I don't know why we didn't think about it before. Now we have a rule when traveling. If possible, when in a city or town, stay in an old hotel, stay in a historic place. I believe the measure of a city's soul is in how it keeps up its old building, and especially its hotels. They've always been a central part of most cities, an old historic hotel. For instance, we've stayed in some incredible places on our travel. We stayed at the beautiful Phoenix Park Hotel in DC. That was just across the street from Union Station. There's a great Irish pub accessible from the lobby. You go down the elevator and there's a little door. You can barely tell it's the door to the pub. As a matter of fact, I had chocolate cake and a beer for my 50th birthday there. And one interesting thing I remember about Phoenix Park is the elevators did seem a bit narrow. Now, Janet would say that maybe people didn't eat cake and drink beer on their birthday back when they built the hotel in the 20s, so I just think they were skinnier back then. Another fantastic hotel we stayed in was the Governor Calvert's house in Annapolis, Maryland. We love Annapolis. The hotel was great, mostly modern, with the old 1700 house kind of serving as a facade or a front for it. The lobby had this really cool glass floor, and it exposed the ancient heating system, or what they called hypocast. You had to walk across it to get breakfast, which I found a little bit nerving, but cool and nonetheless. And I mean, the best thing about this hotel is its location. Right across from the State House, walking distance to tons of shops and restaurants and the waterfront, the Naval Academy. It is the perfect Annapolis lodge to stay in. Oh, and of course you're close to Blue Crab, so anytime there's food involved, I say it's a plus. We stayed in downtown Staunton at the Stonewall Jackson Hotel, which we went up there to watch our Pocahontas documentary show on WVBT.
From the belly of that mountain, you can hear WVPT. It's a local PBS station, and that was really awesome. But downtown Staunton's great. They have some beautiful old buildings. They really know their history there. They keep it up. There's shops, there's restaurants, there's everything you'd want in Staunton. It's really cool. I didn't think about this rule at first about traveling on the holidays. Perfectly situated in downtown Roanoke is a hotel we have spent more Christmases with than our own home in North Carolina. The stay at the Hotel Roanoke during the holidays, it's a visit to a festive, welcoming spirit and culture of holiday celebration that have existed going back to the days when the railroad owned this grand inn. Although the holidays' cost for lodging is always a bargain, we feel absolutely rich when we're walking through the grand lobby or perusing the ever-glistening fashions for Evergreen. That's their Christmas tree competition that's always on display there at Christmas time. At night, we like to stroll outside and feel the cold Virginia air, listen to the silence of the snow falling, and if you look toward Mill Mountain, you can see the great Star of Roanoke that has been lit up in green and red just for the holidays. After roaming outside, we browse the halls and enjoy all of Southwest Virginia's Christmas displays. The Waltons
Good night, John boy.
And we always retreat to the lounge for a wonderful cocktail or hot beverage to warm our bones. In the morning, there's nothing more delicious than brunch served on white linens in a restaurant during the holidays, gazing out the windows at the snow-covered mountains that surround the Roanoke Valley. It's such a treat. It's a very magical place to spend Christmas. Another wonderful old hotel to celebrate the holidays is located several miles off the interstate on I-40 in downtown Greenville, Tennessee, the General Morgan Inn. And we've stayed there a couple of years back. It's a gorgeous old hotel. I must say that it's a bit quieter than the Hotel Roanoke, or at least until Christmas morning. Then droves of well-dressed, well-mannered folks from all over file in to savor the incredible Christmas offerings from the Brumley's restaurant. It's a tradition there to go to Brumley. It's located right off the lobby, and I mean, just check out this year's menu. I looked online at roasted carved prime rib with au jus, carved roasted free-range turkey breast, apple butter glazed ham, candied sweet potatoes, ambrosia salad, assorted yeast rolls and cheddar biscuit, Kahlua chocolate mousse trifle. And the year we stayed there, they had oyster Rockefeller. Oh my goodness, it was just, we felt spoiled. Of course, the cost of staying in a historic hotel over the holidays really is a Christmas present to yourself, because it's almost always a deal that time of year. So that part of it I like. I've learned a few things over the years. Travel, like life, can just be a utilitarian event that gets you from point A to point B. If you're like us, and if you can, and you want to, of course, look at everything you do, everything you have to do. Then look at it again and see if there's a more interesting way to do it. See if you can turn a boring drive to Grandma's into a memory. The most important thing is that not everything works out perfectly, but I would rather make an interesting memory with people I love that wasn't perfect than a perfectly forgettable trip. We are always saying, remember that time when... Happy holidays, everyone. Safe travels now and in the new year.